Okay. So I will share the previous class, okay, in my YouTube channel, okay. So I have not uploaded yet, okay. Might be after this class, okay. I will upload the previous class and also the new today class, okay, in my channel. Okay. So selecting a problem.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Prof.
Yes. Hello.
Could you upload some references regarding this course for us?
What do you mean references? Because I only
References
rely,
book.
sorry, I
Reference
only rely
reference books.
on, yeah, I only rely on these both slides only. So there will be
Okay,
no
doctor. No
additional.
reference. No reference required, right, doctor? Okay, okay.
Okay, you just go through my slides, and if you want to uh, get more additional knowledge on research methodology, I guess you can just Google or search at the Google engine, because I'm not referring
Okay,
for any
doctor.
reference book. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Understood,
doctor.
doctor.
Okay. So selecting a problems. Okay. Yeah. For example, if we are very uh, experienced person. Okay. So we have a problems. For example, at the site. Okay. So most probably we want to solve it. Okay. Then the first thing is based on your practical experience. Okay. Yeah. For example, for my case, I'm not very I not have experience, okay, working outside, okay, because after I finish my undergraduate, then continue my master and then pursue my PhD, okay. So I only solve the problems which is related to a literature, okay. So the second part is critical study on of literature, okay. So that is my experience, okay, where I do a lot of review on the previous literature, okay, and then from there, okay, I narrow down the study, select on one type of ground improvement methods, okay. So another thing, yeah, if for example, if you want to study for a multidisciplinary issue, okay, so normally, you need to get a wider information from the other parties. Okay. Yeah. For example, now one of my student, okay, is try to generate what we call as landslide susceptibility maps. Okay. So it's not a localized problems. Okay. If localized problem, we only concentrate on one single landslide or slope. Okay. But for his case, okay, so he will she for her case, she will develop what we call as landslide susceptibility maps. Okay, so she also need to understand on the remote sensing disciplines. Okay, so beside on what we call on geotechnical area, okay, so she also need to understand on the remote sensing part. Okay, so in that case, yeah, we need to have a good interaction, okay, between our own disciplines and other disciplines, okay, if we want to try to solve the problems which is related to a multidisciplinary problems. Okay. Okay, interest. Okay, if you are not interested in the area you want to research, what will be the quality of the product be like? Okay, so that would be a question. Okay. However, in now situation, okay, so in the current situation, okay, most of you yeah, some of you, your supervisor has provided with a topic, okay, okay, or she or he has a grant, okay, and then she need to find a student to conduct the study, okay. So in that case, okay, I guess that is that is much more better, okay, because when your supervisor has a certain or particular grant, okay, so your supervisor need to make sure that the grant should be closed well, okay. Otherwise, she or he will have a problem with the organization that provided the grant, okay. So in that case, you are not work alone, okay. You will work with your supervisor team, okay. So because most of my students, okay, will have a grant, okay, to provide to my student, okay. So my student should need to work on that particular topic, okay. So either she or he not interested at the beginning stage, at the end he could capable to complete the research, okay. So might be on the first stage you are not very familiar, okay, and then you are not very interested on that particular topic, okay. But when you do your research diligently and determinedly, then you will have you may love your current or your project, okay. By being interested, you are more likely to read widely on the topic and have more thorough knowledge of the situation, okay. So that will be additional extra for those who are working on what they are really love and interest, okay. Okay, size. Remember, problem is often too large when it is first considered. Okay, further analysis can reduce large number problem into smaller, manageable research problems. Okay, so that's why on our last meeting, okay, so we have discussed on Buckingham Five theorems. Okay, where we want to identify, okay, what is the most important parameter. Okay, and from there we need to investigate, okay, uh, how many people or how many researchers has conduct on this particular parameter for that particular problems, okay. So if you know and manage to understand which parameter is important, okay, so you can narrow down your study and may focus on that particular parameter only, okay. So it can reduce your number of testing, okay, and then you are more focusing on that particular problems, okay. So you need to make use of the Buckingham Five theorems, okay, in order to make your research problems more manageable, okay. Okay, economy. Okay, research are often confronted with practical constraints, not the least of which are times and money. Okay, if your problem station is macro insights, it is possible for you to find the answer to your question. You have enough time and money. Okay, so yeah, budgeting is very significant. Okay, uh, so if you have a financial problems, okay, uh, so it's very difficult for you to conduct for the test, okay. So that's why um, the most important things that you need to agree, okay, with your supervisor, okay. Yeah, can he or she provide, for example, a budget for the material, for example, okay, and for do the testing. Yeah, if you need to submit the testing to other parties, okay. So yeah, you need to have that kind of agreement. Okay? Yeah, yeah. For my case, I have a certain allocation, okay, which is to cover for the material, to cover for the testing, okay, and yeah, and I could not provide any scholarship, for example, okay, to pay for the fees, but I can provide, for example, for the material for testing, and yeah, if I receive a huge grant, so I can provide for monthly allowance to the student. Okay. Capabilities and limitation. A researcher should not to be ambitious and must recognize your own capabilities. Okay. Wise, especially at prior planning stage, to seek advice from more experienced person. If inexperienced in education issues, then it is highly likely that you will need some guidance. Okay. Okay, you need to understand like this. Okay, for your first year study, okay, definitely your supervisor is much more knowledgeable than you for this particular problems. Okay, so then you do the research. Okay, for example, for PhD work. Okay, so normally at the second and the third year, okay, you are more knowledgeable compared to your supervisor. Okay, so you need to put a lot of effort. Okay, for example, you need to discipline yourself. For example, to put 8 hours per day. Okay, if you do your PhD, okay, 8 hours per day. Okay, and normally 40 hours per week. Okay. Similar to, yeah, if previously you're working at the industry, okay. So you need to apply the same working hour for your PhD study. Okay. May I know how many of you doing your PhD now? Hello? How many of you doing PhD now?
Sorry, I'm last.
Huh? Sorry, how many of you doing PhD now?
I think, Doctor, most of us are master students.
Or this is only master student?
I think.
Yes, Prof.
I'm not
Master.
sure.
Okay, master
Master
by
students.
research or master by top course?
Third course. Third course.
Okay, okay.
Master
So
by third course.
okay, so if master by top course, so you need you need to spend 2 semester, correct? For the first one is your pre-master project, and the next semester should be your master project. Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, sorry. I thought some of you are doing your PhD. Okay. So if you are doing your master, yeah, there will be not a little, there will be not a very complicated issue. Okay. But for example, if you want to pursue for your PhD, okay, so it is better for you to plan from your master by project and then extend or expand for your PhD programs later on. Okay. So for my experience, okay, when I did my master by project, okay, I have a lot of difficulty when I pursue my PhD because I did not have a very good research knowledge because some of the students, okay, they did their master by research, okay, And then when they pursue for their PhD, okay, so at least they have some basic research knowledge. Okay, so master by research, it is extra from what we call as final year project for the degree level. Okay, and definitely is less than master by research research topic. Okay, so you can plan to continue for your PhD, because I have one of my student now. Okay, he has continue the same topic when he did his master by project. Okay, on rock socketed bore pile. Okay, rock socketed bore pile. Okay. So actually, he's an engineer at MRT project. Okay, Mass Rapid Transit project in Kuala Lumpur. Okay. So then he continued for his PhD. Okay, by add more discussion, more input based from his master by project dissertation. Okay. So uniqueness finding from research should be contribute to body of knowledge already in existence. Okay, not merely duplicate existing study. Okay. However, to pursue a study similar to one already in existence but change the method used or modify the design or use a different sample or choose to perform different statistical analysis. Okay. So currently they are with our limitation of equipment, with our limitation of budget, so there will be no major finding or major contributions, okay, especially in UTM or especially in School of Civil Engineering. Okay, so might be we only do minor contributions, okay, because a lot of study has been done by the previous researcher. Okay, so we just add a little bit difference with the previous study. Okay, so that could be considered also as a minor contribution and can reduce the gap of the knowledge for that particular problems. Okay, so as I told you previously, okay, when I did my PhD, okay, uh, I I did an additional work on floating type of deep mixing method, which is part of ground improvement method, because previously there are a lot of study on the end bearing on deep mixing methods. Okay, then when I went through the literature, okay, less of study has been discussed on uh, floating type or friction type. Okay, although there are some studies being made, but they are not very thoroughly has been made. Okay, so that's why I could say I'm not doing a major contribution, but I try to reduce the research gap on this particular problem of deep mixing. Okay, so I can say that I only do a minor contributions. Okay, because it's very difficult now to do a major breakthrough. Okay, unless if you have a lot of budget. Okay, for example, you want to study on Mars. Okay, so you need to have a lot of budget to go to the Mars. Okay, okay, or whatever study that need a huge amount of money. Okay, so that will can uh, have what we call as a major breakthrough. So uniqueness is not that very unique, but it can provide or contribute to the body of knowledge, okay, in very small parts. Okay, impact to society. Okay, disaster, cheap and fast accommodation, for example. Okay, recycle waste material, green technology, green building. Okay, so now people are discussing on sustainability. Okay, so if for example, if you want to, for my experience, if you want to publish a lot of article, journal, okay, so you can choose to study on material, for example, on recycle material, recycle waste material, okay, sustainable material, okay, because it is much more easy to be published or to be accepted by a journal compared if you want to study for a numerical, for a theoretical part, okay, because it's for me it is very difficult to be published, okay, and also it is already saturated, okay. A lot of people has do a lot of study and a lot of theory has been established at the current state, okay. So try to go for a material, okay, and it can help to provide a good impact to society, okay, when you study more on a sustainable or green material. Okay, what derive research? Mankind, okay, inquisitive nature, okay. So normally people will keep thinking, okay, how to solve the problem, okay. Our wish to identify and meet future, okay, need social responsibility, profit, okay. Yeah, you can be a rich person if you produce something, okay. So you can you can sell your product later on, okay. So to meet present needs, okay, unfulfilled needs, better means, okay. Yeah, for example, for civil engineer, most probably it's very difficult for us to sell our product unless uh, we we provide a service, okay. So like people in what we call chemistry department or chemical engineering, okay. So they can produce, for example, cosmetic or cosmetic product, so they can sell easily, okay, by using organic approach, okay. So now and the university allowed for the lecturer to have a spin-off company, so they can be an entrepreneur, okay, where they can sell their own product from their own research, okay. So I guess not for civil engineer only provide a service consultation work, okay. Actually based on your research as well, okay. So rare, okay, example Newton, Euler, Terzaghi, okay, great engineer have been driven by needs, okay. So this is example for successful people outside there, okay. So they come up with their own approach, with their own formula, with their own product, okay. So yeah, we should eager to become like them, okay. But we need to have a lot of effort to be put, okay. So application of research output, okay, normally, for example, if you want to this share our finding, okay, so we need to publish for a journal, okay, or deliver in the conference, okay. So for example, if you want to continue for your PhD, okay, so at least you need to have a conference paper, okay, in order for you to sit for your oral examination. Okay. Then some of the researchers also come up with the textbook, okay, from, for example, from their thesis, okay. So they also could contribute on the design guideline, okay, code of practice, provide appropriate solution, okay, that could help or generate or influence, okay, by economic conditions. Okay. Yeah, for example, for UTM staff or student, okay, so if she or he could publish in a journal, okay, under certain journal, so they could receive an incentive, okay, in, yeah, in cash, okay, or in money, okay. So that's why we need to publish, okay, for example, for promotion, okay. At the same time, we can get an incentive from UTM. Okay, this is for UTM case. Okay. Okay.
Doctor, may I have a question?
Okay, Salman.
What's the difference of journal and proceeding?
Okay, Salman, thank you. Okay, proceeding is yeah, you deliver your research at a conference. You know conference?
Oh, it's conference paper. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
conference paper. Okay, so they at the end of the conference, yeah, they will yeah, you need to submit your publications on for the conference, and then they will uh, book it as a proceeding. Okay, so for a
Okay,
journal,
okay.
you need to submit to any related journal. Okay, then they will review your articles, okay, by the expert reviewer. Okay, so once they are happy with your paper, and then you have revised your article from their comments, so they will publish in the journal. So in terms of ranking, journal is higher compared to proceeding. Okay.
Okay, okay, doctor.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay. So this is some of innovator from the past developed idea by applying them. Okay. To be honest, I'm not because this is more related to structure elements. Okay. And yeah, person Robert Stephenson. Okay. He has come up with the multi-tubular boiler box girder bridge. Okay. Brunel low-rise masonry arch rigid railway tracks. Okay. So this is more related to a structure person. Okay. So present day research laboratory practice. Okay. So on the current state, okay, you may practice your research applications, okay, or research capability by doing the what we call as the doing your laboratory work. Okay. So research continuum does not exclude new concept. Okay, example. Okay, this is example related to structure. Okay, structure frame from medium and high rise building, reinforced concrete. Okay, some from developed from older form. Okay, some from developed from older forms. Long span suspension bridge from jungle, footbridge, cabinet roof from the tent. Okay. So it means that the gist is to say that the research is continuous. Okay. So it's not a new concept. So means that we do some we improvising the previous finding. Okay. So I'm not sure. Yeah, is there any new finding? Because most of the problem has been solved by by the previous researcher, and then we just keep improvising the finding. Future needs may be affected by changing criteria. Okay, so the introduction of street tramway. Okay, this is already been uh, has been developed and popular being used. Okay, the tram. Environmental concern have changed the criteria for city planning, priority for public transport. Okay, so you can search at the YouTube, so you can see a new technology on the public transport. Okay. Need may arise from research, for example, okay, personal stereo, okay, not anymore personal computer, handphone or smartphone. Okay, so now we are on smartphone era. Yeah, I'm not sure what will be the next era, the smartphone. It developed from present needs, example, interplanetary travel developed from need to travel to the next village. Okay. Resistance of high-rise building to accident damage in the extension of long-standing need for robust structure. Okay, development ability to predict, need to be able to model, need to verify and calibrate against experience, need to evaluate criteria for evaluations. And this is some of example. Okay. So it means that when you do your research, okay, especially on application approach, so you need to think on the needs of your study. Okay. Present need, okay, need to know this, identify, evaluate present methods, develop criteria, weakness, improve, invent, okay. Maybe even by context, local, national needs, social responsible, international needs, more prestigious, okay, prestigious. Okay, this is example for structure engineering. Okay, new enhanced use of existing structure, protection against accidental damage, more efficient new constructions. Okay, now we are in Industrial Revolution 4.0, 4.0, where we use a digital e-world, okay, IoT, okay, Internet of Things, okay. So now, yeah, it is quite a common things, okay, where we are not using any cable anymore. They call as telemetry methods, okay. Yeah, for example, if we want to monitor any area, we just install the sensor, so then we can monitor from our phones, okay. Interdisciplinary concern, okay, 3D printer crane, usually for precast construction, okay. Okay, new or enhanced use of existing structure, improvement in understanding of restraint, frame, cladding interaction, joint, advanced analysis, okay, breach assessment, okay. So now, a lot of studies have been conducted on what we call as structural health monitoring, okay. So they install a lot of sensor, and then they will monitor the health of the structure, okay. Because due to, for example, due to a natural disaster, okay, like earthquake, tsunami, okay, might be the structure has been affected by this kind of natural disaster. Okay. Strengthening durability of concrete and other material. Okay, so if you want to investigate on the durability performance, so they will be nice. Okay, because now one of my students has looked on durability test, okay, on stabilized soil. Okay, so previously people are not looking at that point. Okay, so now due to the climate change, okay, people are now more concerned on this climate change effect. Okay, modern analysis of all constructions, lightweight storage extension. Okay. Okay, so this is due to what we call as natural disaster, okay, fire engineering, okay, seismic, okay, what we call as earthquake, okay, robustness of the structure, for example, okay, does the structure could sustain at any earthquake event or any fire event, okay. Due to the carbon emissions, people now choose to use the green technology or green energy. Okay, so solar, wind, okay, geothermal, which is the the high temperature from the earth. It could be used or could be made use to generate a new sustainable energy. Okay, woody biomass, landfill gas, anaerobic digestions, recycled energy, coal mine methane, okay, pyrolysis, hydropower. Okay, so all of this is sustained technology.
Doctor,
Salman?
these are all the current trends, research trends, right? The current
In
research trends or research topics.
yes, but in UTM, I'm not sure we have this kind of capability or not. Okay.
Yeah, I'm asking about you.
UTM.
You have included this uh, in this presentation.
Oh
So
no,
that's why I
this
asked
is a global.
because this.
This is a global research,
Yeah, yeah.
not particular for UTM.
Okay.
Okay. But last week, okay, last week, uh, I went to an event, okay, which is we have found what we call as a water reservoir, okay, at 160-meter deep, okay. So we call as a water aquifer layer, okay. So this is the new topic under geotechnic professor, Prof. Eddie. Okay. So he know to identify where is the reservoir, water reservoir under the rock formations. Okay. So once they have identified, so they drill a hole up to 160-meter deep. Okay. Then
Okay.
yeah, that's the new what we call a sustainable way to get a good and quality water. So if you are, I'm not sure you are from which department? Salman?
I already from Department of
Oh,
Environment, but
environment.
I already choose my topic.
Okay.
So
Under Prof. Who is your supervisor?
Dr. Shazin.
Ah, Shazbin. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, you can look more on what we call as waste material, okay? Because she yeah
My topic is
ah
about refrigeration and air conditioning systems.
okay.
Indeed, the environmental aspects of
Because she is the deputy director for sustainable, UTM sustainable.
yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, so good. So there will be your contribution towards the accommodation, so toward the aircon problems. Okay, solar energy. Okay, this is a global example. It doesn't mean it is related to UTM. Okay, green technology, wind turbine. I guess we doesn't have this, and it's not a practical in Malaysia. Okay. Actually, I went to, if you know, Perhentian Island in Terengganu. Okay. So they has spent, I guess, 1 million, okay, to build one wind turbine, okay, at that island. But unfortunately, the turbine is not working. Okay, so it just look like a monument only. Okay, the turbine doesn't move. Okay, so looks like it's not very practical in Malaysia at the moment. Okay, this is recycle aggregates. Okay, so part of a green technology. Okay, I have a research uh, which is conduct at independent power plant, okay, which is use a coal to generate the power plant and to generate a power at the power to generate electricity power at the power plant. So they have a waste material they call as a bottom ash. So this bottom ash could replace sand material because it behaves like a sand. So at the moment, the government does not allow for this power plant to use this bottom ash material, okay, due to some environmental issue. Okay, but uh, yeah, after doing assessment on that material, I found out that the material is not harmful. Okay, we're still working on that issue to make sure that this material could be used in future. Okay, to get the approval from the authorities, okay, which is to allow us to use this material in future. Okay. So recycle waste material. Okay, so this is an example of shredded tire. Okay. However, it is very costly. Okay, where because actually in the tire they have they have what we call as uh, a wire inside the tire. Okay, so need to remove the wire first. Okay, and later on they can shred it. Okay, the cost to remove the wire is very costly, and then to shred it another cost. So at the end, they just uh, dump this tire, okay, at the sea or at the ocean to be a house for the fish. Okay. Okay, water security. Okay, so this is an example of water security. Okay, so this is a part of what I told you on the study that's being conducted by Prof. Eddie. Okay, so they make use of the water underneath the ground. Okay, so yeah, you can imagine 500,000 liter per day could be produced from this one single well. Okay, 500,000, almost 500,000 liter per day. Okay, so you can drink it directly. Okay, because it's very fresh and doesn't contain high of germ. Okay, or you need to treat it by using the UV ultraviolet to remove the germs. And it's not very costly compared to you have a water treatment plant. Okay. Okay. So this is how the global researcher try to reduce the problems, okay, due to the oil, water scarcity, okay, and come up with a new energy, clean energy in future. Okay, so we have a break for 5 minutes and then we may continue. for the next lecture.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.